smarts and my...
He told me enough.
No, I.
Here's Chuck.
This movie! I mean, it's really... Fuck! Sorry. Fucking movie. So I think of this whole fucking movie is me stomping around angry enough to say the title for this. Though, if I had the DVD, which I'm glad I don't, I'd be smashing the hell out of that fucker. Because, like, I don't even need to say my intro because I'm too pissed off. And you know I'm already, you can already tell I'm here for an epic rant. And honestly, I don't want to make this too damn long talking about this shitty movie. But it's another one of these stupid parody shit. Yeah. Literally. Of course, it's an epic rant. And this epic rant is going to be for another Seltzer and Friedberg garbage called Their Worst One Ever, and the worst movie of 2008, no doubt, Disaster Movie. It's directed by those two, so I don't need to say the directors. Literally, the plot of this one, it's literally a bunch of people. They attempt to flee as man-made natural disasters and encounter a bunch of pop culture characters. In this one, it's Batman, Hancock, Hulk, Indiana Jones, Hannah Montana for some weird reason, Michael Jackson for some weird reason, Beowulf, The Love Guru, Iron Man, some Rabbit, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and many other not disaster-related characters in vain efforts to get help and shelter from unknown threats. Like, when this got made, well, this literally was out, like, the same year they two did another shitty parody called Meet the Spartans, which was a parody of 300. And less than 3 months after that film, they were going to do a spoof of Superbad. It was going to be called Goody Two Shoes. And it was not, this time it was not done by Fox and Regency like their last stuff. Instead, it was done by Grosvenor Park and distributed by Lionsgate. Like, maybe Fox and Regency got so finally sick of their shit. They're like, we're not financing your garbage anymore. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Go find someone else to ruin. So they pretty much, I guess, had to take this to Lionsgate because Fox probably got so fed up of their shit. Which I don't blame them. I would be too if I had to sponsor shit from Seltzer and Friedberg. And this film got literally... This was released at the very end of the summer. I kid you not. The very end of the summer of 2008. On August 29, 2008. It's a very shitty way to end the summer. Very shitty choice. Then again, we always have a shitty choice to end the summer. Every Labor Day weekend, we always gotta have a shitty movie to end it all. It's how it is. One that'll just disappear and never be seen again. Or ever care about. The one Labor Day release that I will admit was good was Crank. Like, believe it or not, interesting fact, Crank actually released on Labor Day weekend 2006. It's probably the one Labor Day release that actually was good. One. I may be searching. But yeah, other than that, every Labor Day release just sucks. And this is no exception. This film, because it's called Disaster Movie, it's supposed to be a parody of disaster films. But it has references to films that are not even disaster movies. Like, seriously, like, literally all of their Seltzer Friedberg's movies parody a certain genre, and are not even parodying certain genres. They're just parodying whatever shit comes out. Whatever shit's popular during the time a movie comes out. And guess what, guys? Predictably, like every Seltzer Friedberg movie, it was panned by critics and audiences because of all the forced humor, the pop culture references, the writing, acting, directing, like every other film they've done. And it's one of the worst films of all time, branded. Every movie of theirs is branded one of the worst films of all time. And it got 6 nominations at the Razzie Awards, won none of them. And it bombed at the box office, finally, a bomb in their careers. Because it made $34 million worldwide. Now, anyways, when it comes to my reaction, for these directors in general, they always suck ass. They just feel like, because, remember, Scary Movie released in 2000, and it was a success with people and the box office. So, these two dumbasses clearly saw that. They're apparently some of the writers of that film, but they clearly saw Scary Movie's success, and they were like, wow, we can do that ourselves if we're the directors. And you suck ass at your job. They just wanted to make versions of it on their own, and we've had many shitty parodies. Like, we've had shitty films like Date Movie, then Epic Movie, which I ranted on. You want to go check that video out? Just go Google it. Meet the Spartans, the same year as this. Oh, and then this movie. We also had another called Superhero Movie that was not done by these two, but it was done by the people behind Scary Movie 3 and 4, which I'm not a fan of. The only Scary Movies I like are Scary Movie 1 and 2, the ones done by the Wayans brothers. The Zucker ones I could live, and especially Scary Movie 5 I could give a rat's ass about. Scary Movie 3 I'm not a fan of, Scary Movie 4 I'm not a fan of, and Scary Movie 5 sucks ass. Then again, Superhero Movie also was a shitty movie. Maybe not as shitty as the Seltzer Friedberg stuff, but it was still pretty shitty. And it starred an asshole named Drake Bell, who I don't want to talk about in this video. He could be saved for another shitty film from his I Want to Rant on someday. And it's from Nickelodeon. But anyway, on to Disaster Movie. Like, pretty much these movies also, they take the talents of good actors. Like, Epic Movie took and shat on the talents of Kenneth McDonald, who was in 2 Disney films like Lilo and Stitch, and was even in the live-action superhero film Sky High, which I liked. And they just had to drag that guy into this. Then they dragged Cal Penn from the Harold Kumar movies and Superman Returns into that movie. Like, why? They even reference Harold Kumar in it. His character, like, literally even references White Castle. Meet the Spartans takes the career of Napoleon Dynamite's Dietrich Bader, ruins that. Oh, and also he voiced in Surf's Up as well. Day Movie takes Allison Hannigan from the American Pie movies and How I Met Your Mother, throws her in that trash. This movie, on the other hand, for this one, it takes the careers of Tony Cox from Bad Santa, I kid you not, one of the funniest Christmas movies for adults. And honestly, dude, you were in that movie, and after that movie, this and Day Movie were the best shit you could get. Oh, this next one, all you Clone Wars fans, is gonna piss you off. Matt Latner, who voices Anakin Skywalker in that show, is in this movie, and they waste his talent. I don't know, Matt, the guy who voices easily my favorite Anakin Skywalker. I like Hayden Christensen, but Matt Latner easily to me is the best one of the animated Anakin Skywalkers. I don't know how the fuck you chose this of all movies before doing that show. I don't know why you somehow got persuaded to star in this shit. Like, it's hard to imagine anyone writing a spoof movie worse than anything other shitty film these two have done. But they pulled off with this. Like, it's not even a little worse. It's worse than everything they've done combined. It's a film that just makes you feel nauseous, and you likely have to just want to gorge your eyes out after watching this. Like as it appears in the trailers, like every other movie they do, they don't really spoof disaster movies. The set just shakes a few times, there's plastic asteroids, a bad CGI tornado, And that does nothing or add anything to the movie. Other than this, there's nothing relating to the style of the film. We just get references to stuff that's just popular around the time this came out, like High School Musical, Step Up, or even Summer 2008's crop of films, or some films from 2007, like Enchanted, the shitty Alvin and the Chipmunks movies with Jason Lee. Yeah, those versions. Fuck those 4 movies. Kung Fu Panda even. Because even though that's like way too damn new to be referenced right now, around the time this came out anyways, Sex and the City even. So my god, how are any of these disaster movies? You're just taking whatever the hell is popular, slapping it in, and trying to make something funny out of it. Oh my god, referencing shit does not automatically make something funny. It's like these two think they're so cool, and literally they even take the plot of Cloverfield, of all damn films, and they try to do it like this. Other than the outline, just a small group of people running through the city, finding the injured girlfriend. Yeah, that's literally the plot of Cloverfield. The plot of that better film, an actually good film, done by actually good directors, and not idiots trying to be all goofy and shit. There's nothing related to a piece of crap to an actually better, one of the few better modern monster movies. None of these are disaster movies. You're just taking pop culture references of popular films around the same year as this, and these literally, they're not parody genres, they're based on it. Just take whatever's popular, or just throw it in, make unfunny, gross, disgusting adult jokes, rather than do a dance out and do not dumb dances to a shitty rap song every few fucking minutes. That's exactly Seltzer Friedberg. Every one of their damn movies. They're just trying to make you remember Scary Movie. You remember Scary Movie? Remember how it worked because even though it was a parody of Scream, it was original and had some comedic elements to it. There was slapstick, funny lines. It was it wasn't a masterpiece. It was kind of forgettable. But those elements made it worth the admission and why it made money. And why it launched Anna Farie's career in the first place. It's because of those moments that made it work. And that was the last, and that and two, to be fair, my favorite Scary Movie film is the second one, honestly. I think the second one's the best one, and that's controversial, but it's my opinion. Deal with it, kiss it. It's the last time that premise was even funny. Now they're just trying to now they just wanted to copy it because they thought they could make better versions of it, but they didn't. There was no parody in this movie. There's no comedy in this movie. It's just all referencing any shit they can think of. All you need to do is see a movie title, take a line and a scene from a trailer, and you smack that all together and you turn into a script that could be used for toilet paper in the bathroom. All you get for disaster stuff is just a couple of disaster movies getting referenced, not even spoof. The spoofing is just of random movies that are not disaster movies and the aspects of current pop culture. And you get how current women's wrestling or the commercials of the head-on commercials. And how the movie begins is we open up with our first parody, which is a parody of the movie 10,000 BC, which is another shitty fucking film from 2008. It's one of easily the first shit film Roland Emmerich did. And this time it's 10,001 BC, and we cut to a caveman in 10,000 BC just running away from a predator through a plane, and it gets in a fight with the TNX wrestler Wolf. I think that's a parody of the Predator Wolf from AVP Requiem, which also sucks ass. Then defeats him. The caveman encounters the other predator, a saber-toothed, gasoline-drinking Amy Winehouse. Checks her Facebook account, because there's apparently Facebook during the caveman eras in this. And then informs him the world war ended on August 29th, 2008. You're seriously trying to break the fourth wall thinking this is funny? Literally? The release date of this damn movie. Great idea. And revealing their fate literally lies on a crystal skull. Then we flash forward to the present. It's apparently the dream sequence of Matt Latner's character Will, He finds out his girlfriend's having an affair with Flavor Flaw, and then she breaks up with Will because he's not admitting his feelings for her. Literally the opening scene of Cloverfield, because this movie takes the whole plot and concept of Cloverfield. We're like Cloverfield, there's going to be a party thrown for the protagonist, except it's not a going away party this time. It's apparently Sweet 16 party, even though he's 25 years old, but apparently he's never had a Sweet 16 party. And the guests there are just several pop culture references. You get Junie, Dr. Phil, Will's best friend Calvin, Anton Chirk, among others. And then you get your next parody scene, which is literally super bad, and you had the character Seth, and instead of like Evan it's this time replaced by McLovin. Even though it was Seth and Evan during the sequence, McLovin was with the cops in Superbad. They can't get their Superbad scene straight. And at the end, this was supposed to be a parody of Superbad at the time, but they changed it to Disaster Movie. And in this scene, Seth and McLover, they're trying to steal the drinks, and McLover keeps saying his catchphrase, I am McLover, 500 gazillion fucking times, and Seth tells him to stop. But he keeps saying the shit over and over again to make us mad, and they're trying to steal the alcohol from the party. Then, and Kim Kardashian's character, yeah, totally like seeing Kim Kardashian in this. Yeah, an actress I despise. Her character shows up, requests Calvin to kill them, to kill the super bad characters, but the distance is not clean. Then a Carmen Electra shows up, so asks him to curve a bullet around the room to stop them, but he keeps accidentally killing Dr. Phil, Shagurk, and the assassin in the process. Then Amy arrives with her new boyfriend that she's dating, and then we get who's a Calvin Klein underwear model, and then of course we get a musical number. We get our first shitty musical number of the film. There's a gazillion musical numbers to this. I will kid you not, a gazillion shitty musical numbers. And this is just our first. It's called Friends Forever. And it's performed by a bunch of High School Musical characters. An off-key Jessica Simpson and literally a dollar store Justin Timberlake. But then the party comes to a halt. And a strong movement literally shakes the room. And then the lights go out. Same scene as Cloverfield. You all get that. And then a radio claims there's a meteor shower, keeps saying a bunch of stupid jokes, and it's the end of the world. So then some of our characters, and of course a parody of Juno, from the movie Juno, go outside during the shower, and they literally find Hannah Montana crushed by a meteor. Literally, she keeps saying dumbass shit, dies first, then comes back, says more stupid shit, dies, says more stupid shit about her merchandise, and still promoting that until her wig falls off, and revealing her as Miley Cyrus, because get it? Huh? Hannah Montana's real name is actually Miley Cyrus. It's just a made-up character she plays. We already know that. We don't need to rub it in her face, because the filmmakers are stupid. And while this is occurring, we didn't get our next parody, a scene of Hancock, where the kid, in the beginning of Hancock, another movie I do like Hancock, and there's some issues I have with the ending, but I like the movie, guys. I like Hancock. I think Hancock is underrated, and I really wish it could have had a sequel. Would have loved seeing a sequel to it. But anyways, our parody in here is the opening scene of Hancock, where the kid wakes up Hancock to go save the world, but he gets knocked away. So instead of trying to save the city, Hancock decides to be an asshole and try to escape, but he hits his head on a streetlight and knocks himself out, so his escape is pointless. And yeah, this is literally our start of the film. And we aren't even seeing parodies of disaster movies, so shit being thrown in our face. And this shit ain't even funny. It's like our first minutes, and there's not even a single laugh out of my mouth. Like, crude humor, there's times it can be funny, and idiotic humor can actually be funny. If it's done right. But disaster movie takes all that, and it's the lowest level you'll ever see. Like, plenty of other films of this variety, and they've had humor that works. How much humor does this movie have? Zero. Nothing but and every few minutes. And there's people, they even try to defend, like, Some people might even try to defend shit like this, or films like Date Movie, or maybe even Epic Movie. I bet there probably is. They're like, they're satirizing movies. Name one movie they're satirizing in this. Name one. Name one movie that was being satirized. Nothing. They're just referencing films. They're just not mockery like crappy Hollywood success, and they're literally example of it. Like, just imagine if like Michael Bay said his movies were meant to be a satire of excessive CGI and explosions. And to do a parody of satire, like, in order to make a parody work, you're supposed to provide or impersonate examples of your topic and mock them over specific flaws and contradictions. Not just copy them and change things by adding hip-hop rap dance sequences, or have characters just die randomly because it's funny. But, like, none of these directors probably never watched these damn films that they're parodying, and just want to throw references in because they're popular. Like, just imagine for a moment if Hancock or The Dark Knight were never made, and they just included references to those films anyway. Would that be hip or relevant? Still no. Like, but then again, I don't think there's a single person that would want to defend something like this. At least I hope not. Then after, like, we get our stupid, unfunny Hancock scene, the city then freezes over like in Day After Tomorrow, which was probably the last Roland Emmerich movie worth of shit. And the group then retreats to a garage for shelter. And then we get another parody scene that's not a disaster movie at all. It's a parody of a show because the movie adaptation of the show came out around the same year. It was around the same time Crystal Skull released. And it's for the HBO show Sex and the City, which I never cared about, never want to watch. But I know the movie came out around the same year as this, so it's got to be referenced because it's popular. The Sex and the City gang come in. And they comment that they're willing to fight for the place. So Juno and our lead of the gang, that's Carrie, who's played by a horrible actor in drag who can't act his way out of the streets or a box, start this fight, and Juno wins by literally kicking her with her feet, and then her unborn fetus baby's foot, then spraying her face with titty milk in her face, and then having her suck on the baby's foot because the director's think it's so funny. They must think that. Then, Junie mentions that the calamities are caused by global warming. Then Will replies to her that his dream about Amy Winehouse may be related. Lisa says she's getting cold, and Calvin suggests that they should take their clothes off. But only the girls take off the clothes, and the guys stare at Junie, who's supposed to be a teenager, literally, so these guys are creeps. Junie's water breaks, and sprays all over their faces. Then Will has a dream where he confesses to Amy he's a jumper. She tells him she loves him, but she escapes. Then accidentally impales himself on Prince Caspian's sword. The Caspian identifies him as the guy who ruined Star Wars. The guy who ruined Star Wars. For what? No. Matt Latner did not ruin Star Wars. Idiots. Nobody ruined Star Wars around the time this came out, except for the fans who bitched about the prequels. The fans that want to be all babies about the prequels acting, or the prequel CGI, yeah, the CGI can be atrocious at times. It's not as bad as the CGI in the new stuff. If you want to know who ruined Star Wars, it's Disney. Problem solved. Then Will's dream finally ends. Then the group chide with him because he didn't commit his relationship with Amy. The gang leave the garage, and Will gets this call from Amy, who admits his feelings for her, but the call gets dropped. And he decides to go rescue Amy at her job at the Museum of Natural History. Lisa then gets killed by a meteor. And then the others comfort a distraught Calvin. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. Finally, one of our leads is finally dead. Then, of course, Giselle climbs out of the manhole, gets hit by a taxi. Then Calvin catches her, though, and they immediately fall in love with each other. So Calvin gets over that way too damn quick. Gets over his other girlfriend dying, like, okay, my girlfriend's dead. I have a new one now, so I can forget my dumb other one. Too quickly. So Junie, obviously, because she obviously doesn't even know that she's just a princess thrown out of her kingdom by an evil witch, the princess explains that she's just apparently actually not even that. It's apparently this version of Giselle's this demented homeless chick who lives in the sewers. Because she consumed lots and lots of mind-altering enchanting drugs. And Prince Edwin challenges Calvin to a dance fight from Step Up 2 for the love of the princess. Then a tornado appears and Prince Edwin escapes. So then Iron Man, Hellboy, and the Hulk attempt to fight the natural disaster. We get a whole bunch of superhero movie parodies in one, but they keep getting knocked down by cows, the Twister sense, in a repeated unfunny gig, which is not even funny at all. Like, apparently, like, Iron Man gets turned to a can, Hellboy just gets knocked over, and then just decides, nah, fuck this, I'm out of here. Then Hulk shows up and literally gets his clothes ripped off by the tornado. Then a cow hits him, blows him away. So, and apparently the cow gag's supposed to be funny, even though it really isn't, and they keep repeating it over and over again. We have to see it 3 times. And then the group finds more shelter. And then we get a parody of Get Smart here, where Calvin gets a call on his shoe phone, but instead he grabs a wrong shoe and he puts dog poop on his face. Yeah, we have a poop joke in here that's so funny. Yeah, it's a call. He's calling Lisa's mother, like in the Cloverfield scene again. Informs about Lisa's death. Now, Calvin found someone hotter than Lisa because he's an asshole. Pretty much obviously doesn't give a fuck his girlfriend's dead. Then they encounter rabid knockoffs of Alvin and the Chipmunks, who basically dance in the most albalist way I've ever seen possible to shitty songs versus the Christmas song, because get it, they're Alvin and the Chipmunks. Then you do a bunch of dumb rap songs to reference the shitty 2007, to reference the shitty live action movies we were getting around this time. Then they start attacking the gang. They eat Junie's flesh, so this version of Junie is finally killed. Thank God, another member of this unlikable gang is dead. And then they attack Matt Latner's dick. So then the Chipmunks pretty much go after our 2 remaining leads left, and the enchanted drug princess prostitute. Then they trap them in a trash can, and they fatally suffocate them as they attempt to escape. Like, you can't just parody something effectively if you don't even mention it. Like, you can't just go referencing shit that comes out around the same time as this and expect this to be a parody and expect people are just going to laugh because it's in there. Like, if you cut out the off-topic scenes from this whole movie, you'll just be left with like 3 or maybe 5 of the most minutes of film and mostly just credits. That's what you'd get if you did that. And when they do make actual parodies of disaster movies, they're just lame, obvious, predictable jokes that even a small child could do better. Like, literally, all we get here so far is, so Hannah Montana's a merchandising whore. We already knew that. I didn't even know that, but we already knew it. Some kid just tried to be smart at the dinner table when his parents were discussing politics or make political jokes, but then knows nothing about how politics work. That's pretty much what you're getting here. Or just says, I'm a politician, and goes with his mouth or stuff. So, is that parodying satire? No. But these idiots seem to think it is. Because get it, dog poop on face on shoe. Or water breaking, spraying on people. Or titty milk spraying in the Sex and the City ladies' faces. Right here. Or the Chipmunks attacking Matt Latner's dick. Or biting it. Because that shit is so funny. No. If they intend their films to be this way, it just makes it even worse. They always intend to make off-topic, unfunny, parody-devoid, boring, unpleasant films. It just confirms that it justifies anything people say and do to them. Like, seriously, if they consider these real parodies, then they're just one-trick ponies trying to make a quick buck. The story itself is not even existent. The extent of parody and the parody itself, it's abysmally no references, source material at all. And the film is always just made up a parody version to clips from other films that are just taken from trailers of said movies. The vast majority of which are not disaster movies in the first place. But that's every one of their films. They just like to reference whatever shit's popular when they're filming this. How is any of this supposed to pass for a comedy film? There's no plot, no parody, no jokes at all. So who cares? Then again, this is made by the same production team like Date Movie, or Superhero Movie, or Epic Movie, or Meet the Spartans. So what would we expect? Like, why would we even expect, like, and the acting in this movie fucking is awful. Like, Literally, nobody acts their way here. Like, I'm sorry, Matt Latner. Thankfully, you went on and redeemed yourself in the Clone Wars show, but even you gave a bad performance in this movie. And Carmen Electra, it's like the worst performance. Easily is the enchanted princess. Probably the worst living thing in this damn movie. Her character in this movie is unfunny and literally a psychopath. And just felt even disgusted and appalled by everything she did. There's a scene where she's even eating glass and offers some to the characters. Or even she's walking in glass and seems perfectly fine with it. This chick's a sociopath. Like, I hated this version so much, the most out of all these characters. I hated all the characters in this movie, but I hated this one the most. And she even played Amy Winehouse and Jessica Simpson. In this movie, they're equally unfunny and disgusting in this movie. And how this finale goes, this video is getting way too damn long, so let's get to the finale. It's probably one of the dumbest things I've witnessed in a film in my life. Because now, after a whole bunch of unfunny parodies, they finally get to the museum to save Amy. She called to tell Will that she was trapped under a statue. So on their way there, they run to Batman, who they have to informs them they have to go to evacuation buses by 9 p.m. It's apparently now 5:30 p.m. around the time this scene happens. There's going to be no chance of survival if they go to save Amy. So, learning that it's closer to 9 than he thought. So, Batman throws a rope and accidentally lands in a car that drags him away. So, basically, Batman's going to be an asshole and a coward who chooses not to do anything here. Ends with time against them. The enchanted princess kills Speed Racer, hijacks Mach 5 and drive to the museum. Then they hear someone giggling in the trunk, and they find Michael Jackson cuddled up with Spritle and Chim Chim, Speed's two younger brothers. Then Jackson closes the trunk. They drive to the museum and they save Amy. And then we get another Cloverfield parody, because remember Cloverfield? When they go find the girlfriend at the building, and she's impaled by that pole? They reference that here. Right here, except this time instead of a pole, she's trapped under a statue. They can't even figure out, and these two idiots can't even figure out how to move the statue, so they try several dumbass attempts that don't do shit. And they finally do because they're fucking idiots, because it takes them too long to do. And then after she's finally freed, she reveals the crystal skull from Will's dream is the only thing that can stop the end of the world. That's it? A crystal skull can stop the end of the world? No, it cannot. Obviously not. It wouldn't. So Will and Amy make their way to the altar. Calvin and the enchanted prostitute princess find the museum doors are closed and the artifacts have come alive. They're referencing Night at the Museum now. That's not a disaster movie again. And there's more things in here that aren't even referencing disaster movies. Several artifacts, like from other movies, the Kung Fu Panda, which was way too damn new and had just released around the time this was released, only in there because it's a popular thing in this film. Like, this time the Kung Fu Panda in a shitty costume fights Calvin, and it's not a disaster movie, only because it's popular, like I've already said. And Calvin makes out with the princess after beating the Kung Fu Panda, but then removes her wig, and the princess is actually a transvestite, so we have to have a trans joke in here. Wow, how funny is this? And of course, but then the Kung Fu Panda takes out a katana and kills Calvin, the enchanted princess. Good. Finally, these two idiots are dead. Everyone else, fine. Finally, there's only like one of these assholes left. Then we cut to Will and Amy, our two assholes remaining. And they run into a butt-naked Beowulf. Which is not even a disaster movie either. Get it? And they fight with Will. Then Beowulf is defeated. Will and Amy then encounter a midget Indiana Jones, who accepts to be Will's father. Apparently, Indiana then tries to put the crystal skull on the altar, but he has an accident, so Will does it instead, and it averts further destruction. Literally, like, magic. Huh? And then it's suddenly over quick. How lazier can they get at this? A crystal skull can stop an apocalypse. Yeah, just put it on the altar, cha-ching, you save the world. Just like that. That's just like that? No. Fuck that. Better ending is, it fails and the world gets destroyed in this stupid-ass version. Then we end the movie. No, the movie's not over yet, because we end with the wedding ceremony for our two leads. It's being performed by the Love Guru guy. Yeah, from the Love Guru, which is no doubt another equally shitty comedy from 2008. and easily the worst Mike Myers film, and that film killed his career within minutes. As soon as the day it released, his career was dead. And then all the characters, after the wedding, the characters then sing another dumb ear-bleeding rap song called The Dating Song, and the unrated version is called The Fucking Song. And it's a song about dating or fucking each other. And it sets off a chain, and it ends with the chipmunks finally getting thankfully smashed by a cow. Dead. Good. No, you know what would be a better ending to this movie? I'd rather a massive, massive cow kills the entire world. And finally ends this damn movie. I'd feel more relieved after having to watch this shitty trash. Because you want to know why? Because this movie is fucking crap! And if I will be honest, I have no good qualities at all! Because there was nothing good. And if I did think of anything good, it's that it finally killed parody movies and killed these loser hacks' careers for good. We never saw them wide release ever again, and people finally stopped funding these two, giving their money for tickets to make these shitty parodies. Yeah, all in all, you know what, actually, Disaster Movie, it's a good title. You want to know why? Because it's a disaster to the film industry, and it's a disgrace to movies and cinema in general. Like, after this, no, the script should have been burned, the actors and directors ruined, Studio Grosvenor Park shut down, and parodies forever destroyed. So, in the end, guys, Disaster Movie, it should be called Horseshit Movie, after all these other parodies should be called, because it's a total disaster full of horseshit. Never watch it. Period. Anyways, guys, that's it for my epic rage rant on Disaster Movie, and if you're wondering how I'm going to rank Disaster Movie, here's how I'm going to rank this movie. So overall, if you want to watch a horseshit parody, you'll totally get that for the 900th time here, because that's all these two ever do. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rank Disaster Movie, I'm going to give Disaster Movie a -0 out of 10. There we go, guys. Wraps up another Seltzer review, Friedberg rants. And it's the one that people are probably waiting for me to do. You're happy now. Y'all happy now? I finally did Disaster Movie. And I finally destroyed myself. Ah, man. I can bet you I'm probably gonna someday have to do Meet the Spartans date movie and superhero movie. Fuck. Superhero movie's thankfully not Seltzer Friedberg, but it's still shit. Doesn't mean it's not shitty. But, oh my god, fuck off. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for this rants. Thank y'all for watching. If you like this, want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.